Hello! So if you've been watching some of my other videos, you might have heard me refer to rubrics on Blackboard, especially when it comes to assignments and grade center type features. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create these rubrics and how they can be used. To start, log into Blackboard and select your course from the course list. Once inside your course, you're going to scroll down and click on Course Tools. Under Course Tools, you're going to click on Rubrics. The page you see here is your rubrics page. You can see the number of pre-existing rubrics, but your page will probably be empty. To create a rubric, you're going to start by clicking on the gray button that says Create Rubric. Now, like any other feature on Blackboard, you have to start by naming it. So I'll name this sample rubric. Gotta love these wireless keyboards. And beneath that you have your optional description box, so if it's for a particular assignment, you can remind yourself what assignment it's for. If you scroll down, you'll see a general rubric type layout. So if you look across the top, you'll have what is known in Blackboard as levels of achievement. The default ones are novice, competent, and proficient, but you can change them to say things like poor, good, excellent, etc. To change these names, you simply click on this gray arrow next to the name and click on Edit. And where it says novice, I'm going to change that to poor. And then you click on Save. You can repeat this for any of the others, so I'll change competent by clicking that gray arrow and selecting Edit. And then I'll leave proficient as it is. If you look down this column here, you can change the criteria. So here we have criteria based on formatting, organization, and grammar. But these can be changed to include something such as content. And once again, I'll click the gray arrow to change the name here. I'll change organization to research. And each time I'm clicking the Save button. Now, under each of the criteria, you have to give it a certain weight. All of the weights have to add up to 100. So to start, I'm going to change the 33% to say 35%. And if you look at this bottom row here where it says total weight, you'll notice that it's up to 102%. Obviously that's too much. So if you want to quickly balance these weights, you click the button and the weights will be balanced to 100 as needed. You can also add any of these columns or any of these rows. So if you click on this Add Column button, and a new column will appear. And if you scroll over to the right, you'll see that it says New Column 4. Change the name of the column. We'll change this one to Excellent, and click Save. Now moving down, you'll notice that in each of these cells you have a blank text box. In these text boxes, you'll explain how you'd fit this criteria. So we'll start with poor grammar, since that's the easiest to explain. Grammar. And there you see I've typed a quick little description to sort of give you an example. Above that you have a little text box which will show how many points or what percent a student will receive for getting this criteria. So by default it's set at 0. You can change this to give them 2% if you want to be nice. If they get a good, they'll get 50%. If they get proficient, let's make this a 75%. And if they get an excellent, they'll get 100%. And you can make them ascending, going from left to right. If you want to use a point system instead of a percent system, you can click on this menu here and change it to points, which would be they'd get 0 points for poor grammar. Let's give them 25 points for good grammar, 75 points for proficient grammar, and lastly 100 points for excellent grammar. And that's the basics of creating a rubric. So when you're happy with it, you're going to go to the bottom and click on Submit. After you create the rubric, you'll notice it appears on this list. From this list, you can open it, you can edit it, you can copy it, or you can view what assignments it's linked up to. To link a rubric to an assignment, you're going to navigate to an assignment. I'm going to use a pre-made one that I made for us in another tutorial video, and then I'm going to scroll down and click on this test assignment right down here. To edit the test assignment, I'm going to click on this gray area and click on Edit. Once on the edit page of your assignment, which is exactly the same page that you're brought to when creating an assignment, you scroll down to the section that says Grading. Under Grading, you will hover over this button that says Add Rubric, and you'll click Select Rubric. From here, you'll see that very same list of rubrics we've created. I'm going to check off our sample rubric and click Submit. Now from here you'll get a text box saying click OK to assign the rubric's maximum points as the points possible. You want to click OK to make sure that the points possible lines up with the amount that is in the assignment. Once you've added the rubric, you'll see this yellow bar show up. From here you'll have a few options. Under Type, you can see that this is being used for grading, meaning that this is the primary rubric being used to grade your students. From the assignment view, when you go to view the students' assignments, you can physically fill in the bubbles to give your students a grade. On the far right here, you'll notice that you have the option to show your students the rubric. I recommend that you do show your students this rubric so they can see exactly what you're grading them on. To show your students the rubric, hover over this box and click on either Yes with rubric score, Yes without rubric score, or After grading. Yes with rubric scores means that your students will see the score criteria that they have gotten. Without rubric scores means that they'll only see the descriptions without any scores involved. And after grading means that they will only be able to see this rubric after you've graded it. This is all personal preference. I don't have a recommendation either way. As a student, I would prefer to see it with the rubric scores, but it's completely up to you, and I'm not strongly swayed in one way or another. Once you are done, you can scroll down and click on the Submit button. And that's all there is to creating a rubric and attaching it to an assignment. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to click subscribe, and thanks for watching.